And thank you all for coming out in support
What?
of Leandre's
Serious? Why is
burial.
Audrey to kill me? The more you can kill me? Why does Audrey just tell me?
This evening we gather here with broken hearts. This evening we gather here with broken hearts to remember and honor a light who shone brightly, though briefly. Our beloved baby boy, Leandre Ayan Malik Lewis. Leandre was my third child. He was the only child that had two middle names. And he ended up with two middle names because one of his middle names should have been his first name. Ayan should have been his first name. But when I was deciding on names for him, and I wanted to name him similar to my son that was before him, Trayvon. So Ayan means gift of God. Trayvon means the same thing. Also, Malik means king. Um, my son Trayvon, his middle name is King. So I wanted to name them similar. But there was something about the name Leandre. His father's middle name is Andre. And at one point I was looking at something that would rhyme with his father's name. And I think not Leandre, but Elandre, like kind of French name was the closest I found. But then there was something like name Leandre kept coming up. And when I researched that name, it means as strong as a lion. And because it kept coming up, I decided to give him for his first name. So I ended up giving him the one that I decided to give him for his first name as his middle name and still giving him a middle name. So I ended up with two middle names. So he was born on September 24, 2023. His birth was not the expected birth. He ran into the world unexpectedly at home. Fortunately, my hands had come to the house to bring me something in the wee hours of the morning because he finally came into the world about 6 a.m. But it was from in the wee hours that I realized that something was happening and I was trying to get out of the house, but still waiting until daylight to go and get a transportation because it was Sunday morning. And it's difficult for us here to get transportation. So I was waiting until the day was light so I could go and get a vehicle that was I could get to Charlotte to bring me to Port Antonio. But it wasn't in my hands, so unexpectedly he was coming into the world. My aunt came to bring me something, and she was the one that had to deliver me. Um, I don't believe that she had any experience with delivering a baby before. So it was a frightening experience for us. And then my son had to assist as well by cutting his umbilical cord and also had to help me because I realized that I was in danger and I had to help myself to remove whatever shouldn't be in me that would cause me to be poisoned if it stayed too long in me. So after Leandre was born and his brother assisted with cutting his umbilical cord, other um, sister Angela, Sister Angela Clark came there as well. She came back here with my aunt when my aunt went to get help. She came there with my aunt and I think she was the one who wrapped him, who wiped him off and wrapped him in towel and dressed him and so forth. Leandre, like from during my pregnancy, it seemed like the enemy had set up to really destroy Leandre because that pregnancy was my most miraculous pregnancy. It's like everything was coming against us. People that we expected to be here, hope to be here for us, turned against us. So many things were happening to us. We were we were actually homeless. Anyway, when he came into the world and we went to Port Antonio Hospital, when we went to Port Antonio Hospital, um, some, when we went to Port Antonio Hospital, some of the nurses were helpful, but some of them, I think they really did bad to the baby because they had him for like hours, drawing blood from him and all of that. So my pressure ended up going up more than it was already because I realized that I was helpless. I couldn't stop them from doing what they were doing to him because they claimed that I should have brought the placenta with me so that they could have tested. So because they can't get the placenta to test, they had to be doing what they were doing to him. During that time, the doctor waited until the morning, from in the morning, but he too heavy to get to for me to send him to another gate. I didn't agree. I didn't know us. They were really challenging, but I did not let Leandre go. And I was sure why I did not let Leandre go that time. Because I heard the voice telling me if I let him go at that time, I wouldn't see him again. So I held on to him no matter whatever they did to me. I did not send him at that hour. It was days up maybe about a day or two after that I really allowed them to transfer him to St. Anne's Bay. So when St. Anne's Bay had him, they took him to Bustamante for our test. When they came back and they took when I asked the nurse about it, she said that he had a minor hole, but it could heal up over time. That's what she told me. So I didn't understand that he had a serious heart condition because I was not told that. However, when he was 1 year old and he had a seizure, I learned that he had a serious heart condition, which was diagnosed from birth. He had it's called tetralogy of Fallot. I refer to it as TOF. It is a condition wherein four things is wrong with his heart. So apart from there being a hole in his heart, one of the vessels that should bring the blood and the oxygen to his heart is like narrow. So that's resulted in him having some breathing issues at time. So going forward, Leandre would go to like children's hospital for like 6 month visits, but it was anatomy that was responsible because they are the nearest hospital with pediatricians that would check up on him on a monthly basis. On the 12th of March, I ended up bringing him to anatomy because he was having breathing issues. He was supposed to go to children's on the 13th, but because he was having breathing issues and I was advised by the person who called from children to confirm to stop at the nearest emergency room, I went there, hoping that they would have transferred him and let him keep his appointments. After they had him there and everything, then I learned that they wouldn't transfer him. They said that they would have to stabilize him and give him back. He spent 2 weeks there. And the 2 weeks that they had him there, when I thought that he was, no, not when I thought, when he seemed to be coming around and I was hopeful that they would give him to me. I missed 2 days, I couldn't get to visit him 2 days. When I went back on the Saturday, they had decided to put a tube through his nose into his stomach. tell you. So Leandre's death, it was not a death which part him just dead because him dead. He never just take sick and dead. The doctors, some specific pediatricians at Nana they decided that he shouldn't live. So them do all what them want to do to him, them do him real bad and not nice them do to him. Them mash up him brain, him liver, them mash up him organs and give him over to children in a coma. So he never wake up back from him with children. So that's how him died. That's how he died.